And even if they do cross the Atlantic safely, the company that's due to scrap them still hasn't got the necessary permission to carry out the work. Lawrence McGuinty reports.
They're being called the ghost ships, a fleet of rusting naval reserve vessels riding at anchor in the James River in Virginia. Protesters say the ships are contaminated with toxic substances such as asbestos and PCBs. Towing them across the Atlantic will be just too dangerous. But now a judge in Washington has said 4 of them can be brought to Britain to be scrapped.
Well, I'm astonished, really. Quite simply, these ships are hazardous waste, and this goes against a long-established principle that you don't ship hazardous wastes across the globe, particularly from countries that are well capable of dealing with those wastes themselves.
This is where they're heading, a dockyard in Teesside, which has a contract to dismantle 13 of them in all. That'll bring £16 million into the local economy and create 200 jobs. The company says they've already dismantled 50 ships here safely and claims PCBs have been removed from the American vessels.
All the ships have been surveyed correctly. They've been certified by the United States Coast Guard safe for towing. So we don't see any risks at all with the towage. And the work's what we've been doing at that facility since 1997.
The yard is close to a nature reserve, and environmentalists say they'll take legal action on both sides of the Atlantic to keep the ghost ships out. Lawrence McGuinty, ITV News.
Talks are underway with Total Recall of making such comments. Paul Davis has the details.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is nearing the end of his quest to become governor of California, but the ride has become bumpier and dirtier, and he says he's not surprised.
A lot of political leaders came up to me during the campaign and said, Arnold, just beware that this is the week where they're going to unload everything on you. I mean, they're going to have so much stuff out there, they're going to find it and they're going to unload it, because this is what happens to every politician.
The latest skeleton to emerge from the past of the one-time bodybuilder turned movie star is a claim that he's expressed admiration for Adolf Hitler. It provoked another denial.
I always despised everything that Hitler stood for. I hated the regime, the Third Reich and all of this, the whole Nazi philosophy.
I'll be back.
The Terminator's star is already facing accusations of paying unwanted attention to a number of women on his film sets. Opponents have dubbed him the groper, and he's been forced to admit his behavior has not always been what it should.
I have behaved badly sometimes. Yes, it is true that I was on rowdy movie sets, and I have done things that were not right, which I thought then was playful, but now I recognize that I have offended people.
Mrs. Schwarzenegger is standing by her man.
I don't get into specifics. As I say to my children, it always takes great courage to stand before anybody and apologize. And I think that's what Arnold did today.
Schwarzenegger is currently on a 4-day bus tour, a journey to victory it was called. Now political observers are waiting to see just how dirty this campaign can get before Tuesday's vote to elect California's next governor. Paul Davis, ITV News.
In a few moments, a reminder of the headlines. Before that, time to hand you over to ITV.